living color.
Morning, so we are back at Project Golf today and the sun is shining again. It's a beautiful thing about Mallorca. I can hear there's work going on upstairs again, so let's go up and see. Hopefully my beam has arrived. Hola. Bien. Okay, it's very noisy, so I'll talk to you in a second. And even though this part of the plumbing is hidden by the units, we're still using a laser to make sure everything's straight. The professionals at work. So just stop the noise for a second so you can hear me. So this looks like spaghetti junction or chaos, but I can assure you it is organised chaos. So all of these black tubes are what we will feed our new electric wires through. So all these areas here are where we need sockets for appliances or sockets for later on plugging in small kitchen appliances or telephone chargers. And the water tubes are also the blue and the red, which is obvious hot and cold, and we're going up through the ceiling. So we don't have to interfere with the floor and our underfloor heating. We will use the ceiling space. And then our beam has arrived. It's outside at the moment, and next week we will be bringing it in, putting it in position to support these beams up here that we discovered weren't supported. And then we'll be able to remove these acro jacks and get started in here making good. So the next stage will be filling in all of these holes and all of these channels, making good, ready for then plastering, painting, and finally tiling the floor and bringing in the kitchen. So actually, I missed a step. We will be putting in a new false ceiling. And we've decided, with the owner, we've decided that we're going to actually bring this section of ceiling down so that all this area of kitchen and entrance will be one level. And over here, this is where we're going to be putting the new entry system, which was located over there on the wall that no longer exists. So that's going to be coming over here with our lights, light switches, etc. And then we'll make good this area because we do have a desk space here. Okay, so I'm really pleased with the progress here. And next week we will be bringing the materials that we need for the next phase. So we'll be bringing the tiles, the shower base, the bathtub, the taps, etc., so that we can crack on with the bathroom. And to organise that, we do have a truck bringing it in, and we have to organise one with a crane or a grabby arm, whatever you want to call it, to bring everything up onto this level, because there's a little gate to get through and we won't get the bathtub through there or pallets of tiles. So just other things to be aware of logistically when you're doing a job like this is the access into the house for your materials. So we're in the master bathroom, and yes, for those of you that like gadgets, here's our little laser machine to make sure everything you can never avoid noise on a work site, but it's a good sign. It means things are happening. So this makes sure that everything is lined and we don't have any wonky taps or light fittings. So again, like the kitchen, you can see in here we've got our tubes in place for the new electrics. We've got our water pipes going in. And in the toilet area, if you want to come in here, we're now going to put a suspended toilet on here, much easier to clean underneath. And this will be the hidden cistern. And what we've done, the original toilet was here in the corner and we had a bidet. We're not having a bidet anymore, so we've centralised the toilet. This will be hidden and we'll have a shelf from wall to wall. And the only other thing going in this room is a storage cupboard here. Okay, so that's all looking good. So let's go and have a look at our beam. That's exciting, isn't it? So here's my lovely beam. Not many people get excited about this kind of thing, but I do. So yeah, this is going to make sure that this building doesn't have any future issues due to the original builder not supporting those beams in the kitchen. Monday, when the truck comes to deliver our tiles, etc., we'll be making use of his crane to lift this up there as well. It's heavy and it won't go round that little corner bend in the stairs. So here it is, and that means we can crack on next week and move to the next stage. So I was just having a conversation this morning actually about the differences between a new build or a renovation project. And what a lot of people actually don't realise is that a renovation project is much more complicated and much more costly than a new build. We're dealing with what the original builders put in place, and maybe over the years some modifications have been made. And until we start removing ceilings, walls, floors, etc., kitchens, bathrooms, we actually don't know 100% what we're going to be dealing with. So when we're at the quotation phase, we always need to take this into account as much as we can and make sure that we err on the safe side when quoting, so that there aren't too many nasty surprises. Personally, I always prefer it if I can give a quote that's high to cover everything, and later on give a nice surprise to my clients that we've actually saved them money somewhere. But you always need to remember to keep a factor aside for something that you might discover that you weren't expecting. So, interesting fact, this plant is called oleander, and it's very pretty. You can get them in pink, red, white, I believe, and they're all over the island. But did you know that they're actually poisonous or toxic? So if you've got these in your garden, be careful if you've got children or animals, and when you make the cuttings, if you're going to be having a bonfire with them, then be extremely careful, and it's probably best not to burn them actually. Just a quick little fact. And a quick update on Project Bougainvillea. We are working on the kitchen plans this week. We have changed things around a little bit from the original design, because basically I've been asking the right questions to the client and asking her to really think about how she's going to use that kitchen, what's important to her. We're incorporating some clothing storage, coats, hats, that kind of thing. We're hiding away all the washing machines, and so there has been a few design changes, but we're now down to actually selecting which work surface we want to use, what style and colour the handles will be, and the taps, everything. So we're getting close to the final design on that, so we can put a costing together and hopefully get that one started and the ball rolling. So that's where we are with Project Bougainvillea at the moment. Good morning. So we're back at Project Golf. The sun is still shining. I'm stood in the shade, but you can see still good weather in Mallorca here. I'm in short sleeves and my tiles have arrived. So I'm just doing a quick pop in this morning just to check with the builder. He knows which tiles are going where. We don't want them put in the wrong places. And I'm told that the metal support beam in the kitchen is now in place. So I'm going to have a quick look at that. So come and have a look. Buenos días.
Buenos días.
Hola, buenos días. Muy bien.
Ah, sí.
Vale, vale. Ay, perdón. Okay. Beam is in. Beam is there, which means we can shortly take away these babies. They will no longer be needed, and we don't risk anything falling on our heads. It's a good day. See? Vale. Okay, vale. So we're just talking about where to start and finish the new tiling, because obviously we're going to have to do a transition from the kitchen, the new floor, to the existing floor. We've got a pillar here which comes out further than the kitchen, and on that side also. So what we've agreed, we're going to use this joint here. That's where we'll stop and start the new floor, and the same over there. We've got one tile that's broken over there, but we can replace it because when we were taking tiles up, we saved some full ones just for that reason. And also in the future, if the client breaks a tile anywhere else in the house, we've got a few spares for them because we can't get these anymore. So we've decided on that, and now I'll show him which tiles are going on this floor. Or at least, see.
Antes de poner, miramos si.
Vale, okay. So, so we're just talking about the fact that these ribbed ones go on the back wall of the shower, and we've got the niche on that wall to put the shower gels or decoration. And so we're just talking about, because you've got this edge that's ribbed, we want to join a front and a side tile together. They're not overly ridged, so what we're going to try and do is 45-degree angle and join them together. If that's not going to be effective or look good, then we'll put a tile edge in there just to minimise that, but we're going to try and see if we can do a 45-degree angle, which is a lot neater. So that's what we were just discussing here with those tiles. Lovely new bathtub. Perfect. Don't think it's going to be much use there under the table, so we will put it in the bathroom. Bueno, muy bien. So I'm pleased with the progress again. As you can see, we've filled in the parts of the wall that needed filling in where the tubes are. We've got our new position here. This is going to be our video portero. What is that in English? Entry system from the gate. That's going to be here because it was in the wall that no longer exists. So that's all been prepared, ready for putting the cabling through. And we've had all the materials delivered. So as you saw, tiles, bathtub, shower base, etc. are here, and we're cracking on. So everybody's happy. So I'm just going to message the client because I know that they have a desk that sits here afterwards. We do have one socket there in the corner, but I'm just going to ask them while we're at this phase, do they want me to add any more sockets to that wall for plugging in the laptop, mobile phone, whatever. Just an option to ask them. I prefer to ask now rather than it be an afterthought. Just wondering, would you like us to add any other sockets to this wall before we make everything neat and tidy again? So that was a quick visit this morning, although it was interrupted a few times. That's the nature of the job, I'm afraid. We've also started on another little project, and the plasterer was just calling me to ask me about ceiling height necessary. And then on another job, actually this one is a job we did a long time ago, and they called me a few weeks ago to ask if I could send someone to dismantle their bathroom unit and get it re-lacquered because their shower screen had exploded. Not a shower screen I put in, I hasten to add, but it had exploded and chipped all the lacquer work on the bathroom unit. So that was another little job that came up this morning. And yeah, this is what happens on the sites. You think you're going in to solve one thing, and suddenly you get a phone call or two to solve some other things. And you've got to be on the ball, juggling a lot of things and keeping a lot of things in mind. So I basically can't live without my telephone. I've got software and apps on there, you wouldn't believe it. I use WhatsApp a lot to communicate with my clients, but I also have a little group chat for each project that includes all of the trades working on that job so that we can ask each other questions and everybody is still in the loop. And apart from that, I have all my quotations, costing notes in the cloud so that wherever I am, I can actually just pull them up, have a look to check on something before giving someone an answer. So I really could not live without my telephone. That's a sign of the times. I mean, when I started doing this, it was all paperwork, so I just can't imagine doing that anymore. It's, you know, that's the change in 20 years. It's amazing, really. But yeah, always need a battery charger on hand. But that's it. So back to the car now. Yep, 20 minutes to get back to the showroom, and I have 2 meetings lined up with suppliers today. So one hat to the other. So don't forget, guys, please like, subscribe, hit the bell button and leave me some comments. I'm really loving it so far.
Living life in color.